Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast Total War campaign, Age of Charlemagne, of course. And we are covering here now the Emirate of Cordoba, the last heirs of the Umayyad Caliphate, overturned by the Abbasids in the Far East, and basically ran all the way here to southern Spain. Basically, it was either that or the Byzantines, and I just sort of figured I'd wait a bit more, at least with the Byzantines, since the mod still perhaps lacks a few elements for it to be quite on the same level as the other kingdoms currently in game. Still rather think there's a poor choice there by Creative Assembly not to give them their own sort of bit here, but oh, well. So anyways, the Emirate of Cordoba, we got here Abd al-Rahman and his heir Charlemagne, and got Hisham almost there, and we also got Abdallah there. Also Hulal there, otherwise we've got a few there, Al-Muntir and Hussein. And in terms of what abilities we got here, we got the heir to the Caliphate, public order, we get less sort of issues from religious unrest, which is actually quite important, since we are pretty much the only sort of Islamic state, well, Spain's pretty much the only sort of Islamic influence, the rest is pretty much Christianity and far away in the East Chengism. We get also income. We get like 500 from the formation of tributary states, which I guess we mean like every time we got like a one time of 500, which isn't actually that much. And we also get a bonus to research rate. But here's the thing, though. We do actually get a bit more than that. Also, a quick note to those who aren't quite aware, we do have sort of imperial levels now, sort of how you're judged. Sort of small things that have to be filled with, well, imperium bits here and there, and then sort of here we sort of hit the short victory, and then here this is basically the long victory, which is sort of what we're aiming for. Though of course might add some sort of longer term goals, just so in case we're not like last time, just fill it all up in one go and oh hey, game over. Well, we won obviously. So I know I'm obviously taking all of Spain, and then perhaps I know sort of gaining western France, perhaps, or southern France, perhaps pushing a bit into Italy. I don't know. Either of those two, you be the judge. Also, one thing to, of course, to note there, so I'm trying to get into, while they do have that research bonus, they technically have another one. And that is basically, they can sort of build their research buildings. It doesn't really depend if they got a Medina or the other one, the Al-Khazaba. I mean, they can basically build a Maktab wherever the jolly hell they want to, which is a bit an advantage to keep in mind there for them. Bit of an advantage. Just a little detail there for those curious. So that's definitely one of the sort of more sneaky advantages they have. They also have the access to build sort of a healing structure, which is more effective than, say, the pagan ones. Also at a reasonable cost. So those are some details there. Of course, they do have some things to worry about. For example, again, their starting position is rather perilous. Most of the area they actually control is deeply Christian, which rather means they're going to suffer under a lot of religious unrest that way until they can sort of bring that under control. I mean, they start with an imam, but that's about it, basically. So it goes quickly got to sort of build up some structures to take care of that. And for example, the villa here, I mean, while it does give public order, it's not really going to help in the longer run. You rather want that knocked down and then build up a mosque, for example. That we'll be doing here in Bejar. So a mosque here should help with the religion. We will later on shift that one up by the way for some estates there to help with farming. We've got a wine field here, vineyard, which of course gives trading resources but also commerce. We'll also set up some farming land here while I remember it. Of course, diplomatically, we are at war with the Taifa of Toledo. There's also the Taifa of Valencia and the Taifa of Barcelona, if you want to be sort of proper, I suppose. And then, of course, we've got the Taifa of Saragossa. The thing about the Taifas is, I believe they were kind of a later thing that sort of appeared after the Caliphate of Cordoba fell apart in around the 11th century. Though, of course, they apparently, even between them, their power was a bit waning. So, you know, in theory, the Taifas could have been there before, but technically, I think they were sort of, I don't know. And I'm not fully a scholar on this, just what I've briefly been reading up to, so just a few points. But I've got 4 Taifas here, which are sort of smaller Islamic kingdoms or fiefdoms. See, in specifically sort of to Spain, they didn't really exist anywhere else. So we basically got 4 of those. We're at war with Toledo. The other 3 were sort of alright with, and we will initially do trade with them to sort of get some extra cash. No reason to be overconfident. So there we go. I'm basically sort of asking for money because, you know, might as well sort of get as much finance out of it as I can. Oh wait, I need to first cancel there. Then Taifa of Barcelona.
Honored emissary.
They, on the other hand, are not quite there for it.
With my master's voice.
Alright, wants a non-aggression pact, but he offers money for it. I probably intend to beat the stuffing out of them, but
hoping to hear wisdom.
Might as well. And of course we also got the Kingdom of Asturias, the sort of own, well, the Christian kingdoms all around you. One here, there's also one here around here, that's Pamplona. But basically they're going to be sort of my major threat. They're also here, in fact, aggressive, which basically means they're probably going to become knocking down my door very soon. So I have to sort of begin preparing for that. Actually, in fact, I will set up here. I mean, I could set up in Caceres, which obviously sort of have the better military sort of facilities for that, though that might still take some time. But anyways, let's get done that. We got here Al-Muntir, Hussein. Those are the ones that sort of have already. Both are leaders, though they could be quite effective there. The others are also leaders, but here we go. That one is kind of neat. So let us set him up there. And begin hiring some Berber spearmen. You also got Andalusian troops, sort of bit here. That was basically how sort of largely the forces here of the Emirate, and well, most of the sort of Islamic forces here were sort of initially set up. They largely relied on Berber tribes from sort of northern Africa, and then sort of used Andalusian troops sort of a slightly higher tier, and they sort of reserved their own men, sort of the best that were for sort of the more higher ranked posts, you know, the most elite units, guards and such. Little fun fact, they're attacking, of course. It's not quite so straightforward there. See, the Danes were going to sort of rush straight for, you know, the 3rd tier barracks. We got a bit more on the way here. We also got a few interesting things here. Sort of here, for example, upgrade our spearmen to sort of be armored spearmen. We got cavalry upgrades, which I have to take. But right here, for example, sort of go for this. I mean, get pretty good warriors and some good archers and armored cavalry. So there's a few things to keep in mind again. Tech trees can look a bit different. In fact, if I also want to hit that, I have to get all of this. Civilianly, we also got one here for example for the religious unrest, which again is going to be pretty important. And lastly here, it's sort of a bit different as well. I'm doing this probably because some people request that perhaps, you know, be a bit more specific about some of these things, which is, you know, fair enough. So, you know, we got first one initial army here, mix of spearmen, levy, some archers, some slingers. I believe in fact this is the only sort of the Emirate, and well, all the Taifas are the only ones that have access to slingers, and some cavalry and some light cavalry. I also should note I do have a mod to sort of make them look a bit more interesting. Just a little detail there, was actually very nice looking, so I figured why not. We also got a slight territory here, a bit on the own. That caused some trouble, so I might have to move up some imams to keep that under control. We got Calatrava here, which is part of Toledo, which we kind of want. In fact, Toledo is a really, really good province. It has access to copper, gold, and iron, which is like the best 3 resources there in the game. Plus, iron can be traded away, but the other ones, of course, just give you a lot of, you know, income. So you really want that province, and you want as much anti-corruption on that province as you can basically conceive. Lisbon there is also looking semi-decent, though a bit shaky there. Either way, building up the army there. Can't get more money on it any turn. Nope. I will also initially go for slingers, since, well, most of my opponents will not be that frightfully armoured and not necessarily have the best shields either, in which case slingers just decimate them. They can't be upgraded, but, you know, until my opponent sort of really brings up heavier stuff, I can get better archers. I mean, they're going to do the trick, plus they're cheaper. So moving up here. Going to be recruiting a bit from here, some cavalry.
Requires noble men.
Bit expensive though, but still need some bits, and I can ultimately also try and recruit some mercenaries. I'll hire these just to prevent my opponent from hiring them, otherwise Toledo will hire them, and in which case I'm going to have a harder sort of track ahead of me. Could hire some more Andalusian cavalry too, since they're pretty good as well. There we go. I'm not going to be immediately upgrading the bags here, well, the muster hall into a bag, so that would give me some decent units there. I'm just sort of going to wait a bit with them. Garrison wise, pretty good. Partly also because we got the guardhouse here, which I probably will be knocking down. It's not that important, at least not here. Plus it takes away food, which, you know, I rather want some food here to sort of keep this a bit more in good grace. Plus I can set up a better building there to sort of help me out. Like for example another maktab. So with that I think we sort of got our opening moves sort of set up there. We also got here the Basileia Romaean, the Roman Empire here hanging about in Palma. I've got no issues with them. I don't think I know them, so well I don't know, got no direct contact. So that's sort of again our initial moves we have set up here, prepared for the long campaign. Oh right, governors. What about Sulaiman? Oh yeah, he's that. You are leader, and Hussein was also, yeah, basically all our leaders. Gab al-Andalus, I would rather have him there. Al-Andalus, you should take care of, and Toledo. Toledo is going to be pretty important again. Of course, we also have some slightly different here sort of things you can do. We should just use these for sanitation, should help a bit sort of overcome some initial kinks, and also help deal with some of the initial sanitation issues. Plus, any bonus to research rate is, well, quite welcome. Since mines do produce squalor, which of course might then cause disease to break out, and we don't like this. Ow! Bollocks. Already are you twinkle toes. I'm not going to fight this one out. That's not going to end up well. But yeah, they're going quite aggressively in for it. At least they're not seizing it. But that was basically my governor already there.
Ready for orders.
So now I have to replace him. Amazing.
Ready for battle.
In this case, of course, I got the cavalry advantage. Range-wise, they do have skirmishes, which can be very nasty, but overall, I've got the larger and better force. So, let's get in there and let's...
Advance.
There we go. Well, that's not going to be much of a battle at all. Just a pushover. Stabs him with a mace. Just sort of establish how violent this Emir is. I could just punch you with this, but I will stab you with this, to make it very clear that I do not take any silly business from you. Of course, on the other hand, they just sort of basically left themselves very open with that move. And there we go, Maktab. I do love some research bonuses. Particularly since the faster we can get to this, the better, I would argue.
My lord.
Our army has suffered a bit there, but not too bad. And with this, Toledo should already be pretty weak, which should allow me to quickly seize, well, Toledo off the Toledo province, and then I can move on to Guadalajara. Now I gotta replace the other guy who just got bastardized. None's really good. I mean, Lander is the closer I come to something useful. I'd really have the preferred entrepreneur, but we'll get him afterwards. Wait, did I send him to the right province? Yes. There we go. Eastern Enlightenment, and Eastern not getting brutally stabbed to death. Go, and Mosque. That should lastly help a bit with the situation of not necessarily being too popular with the local populace.
At your service.
Right, he's got dice rolling, that's not really useful there.
At your command.
Slinger's being brought up. So far, Kingdom of Asturias is sort of keeping quiet, not trying anything too reckless or silly.
Ready for battle.
Alright.
For honor and great glory.
Alright, if I engage their army outside, I can actually draw up the defenders, which is basically what I'm doing here. It's a bit of an oddity though, they don't start within the town and the AI doesn't do anything to bring them in there. Since it does allow you in these cases sort of quickly deal with the town garrison without necessarily having to sort of go through a nasty siege. So there we go. Our cavalry not looking too good there in some senses, though of course we've got the Umayyad cavalry, they are looking pretty solid. The mercenary Andalusians have seen better days, the Berber light cavalry though largely got away from that one.
What are your orders?
The levies, by the way, can throw a few spears, well javelins, and then of course the spearmen are sort of better melee troops. Of course we've got a mix of archers and such there.
Cavalry! Forever loyal! Riders and the devil!
Anyways, we kinda want to end these people before they can
Cavalry!
join up with a reinforcement from the garrison. There you go, that's basically the reinforcing army arriving in the west. That is the garrison of Toledo marching in. With their levies, their archers, the spearmen, the cavalry including Berber raiders. Now he's basically lining up there behind his skirmishers. They don't want to get caught by the skirmishers directly, since skirmishers, while they do have a short range, can very quickly kill anything that does get within that range. They are very potent in that sense. Double time it, come on. You're the Sultan. Act like it. Well, Emir or whatever. Abd al-Rahman.
Melee cavalry ready!
Might be too late actually.
At the ready! Riders forward! Forward formation!
You shall move up there.
Missile infantry ready! Spears!
Charging in there. Skirmishers running.
Cavalry!
Why?
Spill them
Well sauntering. Get in there. Kill the blighters. Not sure what the hell's going on there.
charge!
Again!
Cavalry at your command!
What the hell's going on there? Oh, yeah, that's their general being absolutely
We await your orders!
They are trying to
to
take
that.
out our general. Defend him.
There you go, the enemy general is dead.
Our victory
Absolutely
grows
cut
in
apart
our
here
What are your
by an awful lot of cavalry.
As you wish! Forward! Riders, move out! Swift riders!
What are your orders?
Find your targets! At the ready! Riders at the devil! Melee cavalry!
You pull away.
Orders, my lord!
I'll use the general to strike at their archers. You see, collapsing without the general, the flanks are particularly good points to strike. They're a bit hard to tell apart over this, so of course there's a bit of a downside. It does in some sense look a bit more drab, but did look in some senses otherwise a bit better than what the AI had given them.
Melee cavalry awaiting orders! Lead them!
Well, looks like they broke under the pressure. Of course, got more cavalry to take their place. Charging up, there's the Berber raiders.
We outnumber the enemy!
Orders, my lord!
Well, I'm sure there'll be a few survivors in the town garrison. There won't be quite as many to assist now.
We await your orders!
The day is yours!
So there we go. A decisive victory against the Taifa of Toledo. And just within a matter of turns, that is... I missed out with 1,000, but now they're down to just 473. And they probably lost some of the more vital elements, sort of holding the town. Though I did lose my Andalusian cavalry. And not the mercenaries. That's a bit unfortunate.
My lord!
But with that, we did deliver a crucial strike against them. Most crucial.
Besieging settlement!
And we can actually now easily take Toledo, which is overall a bonus.
Ready for
Meanwhile, I'll
battle.
need to slightly buff up this a bit. Oh, nothing too expensive.
It's a great and glorious thing to fight for.
There we go. That should leave me at least an army so to deal with it in case, you know, we got an assault here from the Kingdom of Asturias, the last remainders of the Visigothic Kingdom, which sort of ruled Spain until the, well, Umayyad Caliphate sort of initially struck some time ago. So there we go, we almost got this one ready as well. They're opening up for tier 2 libraries and then sort of slowly pushing it towards religious tolerance. So let's end the turn. There we go. They're moving in, they're getting ready to strike. I'll probably have to bring in some mercenaries, I can afford it. Yeah, they're going to be a problem soon enough. By the way, we're charging in there. Stab right through the heart with a mace. This man is absolutely brutal. Oh, lost a mercenary cavalry as well. Still, we got Toledo itself.
At your command.
So there's what you call beneficial, although we're going to knock this one down. Get this. This. Small victory.
Ready for orders.
Going to have to move in here.
We fight for you, my lord. Waiting for more
No
orders.
mercenaries. I feel he might have
Our
been
lord
grabbed by a certain
is good
someone.
fighters. It's a great and
Bit expensive, but I
glorious
actually go for a lot of
to
cavalry
fight for our
since, well,
cause.
cavalry is a bit the weakness here to some extent of the Asturians, at least. Well,
Ready for
this cavalry
orders.
is good against other cavalry, but also good against other units, sort of, you know, trashing them down, whereas the Assyrian cavalry struggles against enemy cavalry, so probably utilised large amounts of Berber light cavalry could give General Silo here a bit of a headache,
My lord.
which is rather what I'm banking on. It's going to be good. Going out here though to there to sort of help calm it down.
Where is my wood?
So that's not too bad, ish. And that only leaves Guadalajara left to sort of push through. Also, neither of those are really useful for our general. You just need to deal with corruption. That's rather for the governors to
My
do.
lord.
Still, the warriors of this divine justice will probably follow on Coimbra, which is about terribly defended. They can just sort of
Ready
strike the
for
bat there with a
battle.
decent force. I might just be able to sort of hold things up there until I can bring up an even
Ready
larger
for
force.
orders.
Oh, I just want to grab Guadalajara, because when you do that again, I can sort of just not have to worry about the Toledos. Plus, I can get a decent amount of resources, even though I don't upgrade it right away, thanks to sort of this Eastern Enlightenment, which should overall sort of benefit the other provinces. Probably extra squalor caused by the whole fighting thing there. Anyways, if I get that, I'll get at least, you know, some decent amount of gold out there to support my war effort, though I'm going to need up some farming or food stall or something just to provide food there to this. It becomes less grumpy and also gets me more money. That's a little bit important there. Provinces which don't have enough food. I had to take quite a dive in wealth. That's a little detail there to keep in mind. Plus, they're not exactly happy, which doesn't help either. So, there's in the turn. Oh dear, what are they planning? I'm slightly worried there about what Asturias is up to. I mean, it could just be initial raiding, but they're clearly not up to something good. There we go. Rebellion. Throwing people off roofs. Someone's lighting stuff on fire. In Toledo. Toledo. They're probably eating up all the mercenaries as well. The AI just loves hiring mercenaries. Bloody nuisance.
My lord.
I gotta deal with a rebellion there. Beady little bastards. Again, don't mess with the Emir. He has no time for that. That's pretty much all the mercenaries there, though we can hire a few extra here. So we shall do that. To these sort of quickly fill up the ranks for the last push against Toledo.
Ready for orders.
As we sort of get there.
It's a great and glorious thing to fight for our cause.
And that was the food market. In particular, since this province isn't exactly frightfully fertile, that's also going to help just a bit. So there we go, that's blocking. They're about close to equal size. And again, it's going to be largely reliant here on the cavalry to sort of win this, I think. Also, let's not ignore the slingers either. Again, they can lay down a good murderous rate of fire there. And another weakness of the Andalusians, or the Asturians, they only have skirmishers. They have a lot of things that can throw javelins, but they don't have any archers or slingers. Which means they do have to get close. Which is a bit of a weakness, really.
It is an honor to serve you. As you command.
What do you think about it? The marked up there, by the way, is ready. That should allow us to quick get ahead.
I shall rest a
To
while.
this, religious tolerance.
At your command.
Getting more spearmen, lots and lots of spearmen. Got the heroes of the Caliphate here with Al-Azbar sneaking about there. Hussein. Let's throw him a strategist actually. This and there you go, a bit of extra wealth. Alright, so they're just raiding. Which means they're not quite yet ready to push in, which might be the time for you to move in there.
propose a simple trick.
Sure. I don't intend to do anything with them right away, or at least yet.
Making my
Though of course, one day it shall happen. I should probably upgrade these a bit.
sword needs a whetstone.
Alright, they took Guadalajara.
Scrolls.
That's a bit unfortunate, which of course means I mean, obviously I have to go to war with them eventually, but they might just sort of push ahead the schedule just a bit. On the other hand, I could be now more tempted of going against Asturias, in particular since they're close here, which could allow me, of course, to bring in the garrison to give them a good thrashing. Where you can catch the army in perhaps in a situation where they're not quite prepared. Which will of course be rather preferable, to say the least. I shall upgrade this one, I think, just to provide more sort of religious and of course public order bonuses. In particular, this little area, Cartagena, could do with. Simply put.
My lord.
Let us engage. Let us strike the first blow.
To battle.
They do have some slightly improved cavalry and have some elements still. I feel confident we can do this. I feel very confident. Ish. We'll have to see. I could of course try to build up a larger force. I felt now was the time before they decide to make this. Yeah. There we go. Reinforcements will arrive behind them, by the way.
Melee cavalry at your command.
What is Rome? But a squalid cesspit of well-dressed.
There we go. A large advance.
Our reinforcements have arrived.
Huge swaths of cavalry moving in. They're slightly reacting it from reinforcements arriving in the rear. Set up in a slightly threatening position, ready to strike at them from an angle they're not quite prepared for. And otherwise the plan is basically sort of to have these slingers pelt their javelin men. I don't want to get close to those guys, in particular not the they have any sort of ambushes. There we go. Otherwise the rest of this is just not something I want to get close to at all. Of course, if they get close, I can quickly lose a lot of men, though. My spearmen do have a good chance of actually sort of blocking some of their shots, but still, if I can just sort of pelt a lot of them with rocks, that's quite beneficial. You just got to sort of keep pushing in with reinforcements there, sort of try and get some reaction there from the main army. Sort of respond to it, maybe pull back just a bit, which could allow for an opening here.
Spearmen ready for orders. Forever loyal.
Forever loyal. Slowly, slowly. The only reaction so far is from the cavalry.
We understand.
There we go. Now they're pushing forwards.
As you wish.
Spears ready.
Now they're just charging forwards.
At the ready. Riders advance.
Orders, my lord. Cut them down.
Forward.
Strike at the general while he's perhaps not quite as occupied with things as he ought to be.
Your command.
Running up there. The cavalry is getting thrashed by money, particularly their Iberian cavalry is nothing compared to the Berber light cavalry. They simply cannot resist it, so they're getting absolutely decimated. The Andalusian cavalry has a better chance, but with spearmen moving up from the rear, that's not going to last long. So right here, they're getting hit from several points. The advantage they might have had is quickly vanishing away. Particularly here we go, striking at the general cannon, who's not really worried about the flank, which is definitely a fatal mistake. Possibly his last mistake.
Enemy units have rallied and returned to the battle.
So right here, making good progress on the western flank. Some skirmishes called up here by the Berber light cavalry, and some of the Iberian men were also faring pretty terribly, really.
We await your orders.
Sitting up there.
Advance at speed.
They're going to strike to the flank while the cavalry continues to harry their units there. If you can finish off Silo here. Remainders of the Royal Guard, that would be excellent.
Melee cavalry awaiting orders.
Oops, trying to go into my general, I do not want that. And of course, as you might be noticing, there's a large difference here, of course, from playing the Danes. I have cavalry, reasonably effective, light cavalry actually, which rather makes short work of a lot of sort of initial threats. As long as I don't play them like an idiot. There we go, the general is dead.
Excellent.
Iberian cavalry about to get annihilated. So about to deal with that. In there, yeah, hit the other guys. Right, tell you what, dismount, engage them head on, in which case they lose their, oh, never mind, they broke. Cowards. As soon as they get down to show them how it's done, obviously they break rank. A bit of nice havoc. The Asturians clearly chose the wrong people to raid. Yeah, the skirmish is just getting bloody slaughtered. And with that, a decisive victory struck in the first part of the war against the Kingdom Asturias. Only 600 men remaining out of 260. Comparatively, I took a lot fewer losses, and I'm pretty sure I have very much the cavalry to thank for that.
Ready for orders.
So with that, I had delivered a very crucial blow against them. In fact, I can finish off their army. There we go. That was the Kingdom of Asturias, I think, main army.
My lord.
Which pretty much means they're rather open right now. I can sort of charge up there with my own army. So that is a pretty good start here overall.
Ready for orders.
Pretty good start indeed. Charlemagne, governor, hand him that. Don't need that. Guess just throw that in. Yeah, Taifa Valencia took care of them. Ah. Something broke off. Now I have to deal with that, I guess. Or not. Set the rebels before they cause me a headache.
We fight for you, my lord.
Rush ahead
We
there.
cannot do that.
And set up here some fields to farm. Lovely things. Go. Jolly good work there. Need to get him over here to help with their situation here before it completely deteriorates.
There's more I could do, my lord.
Not just going to do a lot right away, but some is better than nothing at all,
At your service.
I would argue. So there we go. And soon we can take Braga and secure their vineyards.
God gives both wisdom and strength. I give you...
Nope. Not interested in peace right now, I'm interested in all you own. You began raiding my territories, you know, you awake the ire
At your command.
of Cordoba.
Besieging settlement. You have further orders?
Go. Right through the head.
My lord.
And there we go. There's a guardhouse here. I'm not too worried about the situation here, so I don't think I will be doing that.
My lord. At
Problems there, probably not too much of a problem.
for further orders.
Indeed.
On the move, my lord.
Just need a bit of mopping up. A kick to the crotch. And a mace through the neck.
We fight for you, my lord.
So there we go. Ooh, yes. They have one other massive advantage. They get some unique companions, which none of the other armies really get, including this Kurosani warrior, which basically just gives them a -5 morale bonus if they want.
Destination.
That one I always sort of just, crikey.
We fight for you, my lord.
In this case, a drill master. 5 attack for the army, which is also pretty neat, but not quite, 5 morale penalty. But I think we'll sort of stop here. We've sort of made some good gains. We've gained Toledo, we've gained Braga, we have crushed Toledo, and we've certainly given the Kingdom of Sirius quite the wake-up kick to the crutch here, destroying their main army, and is already now sort of moving up here the side, and that pretty much leaves the rest of the Kingdom of Sirius rather weak. So, join in for next week. We'll continue through the Kingdom of Asturias and possibly take on some other people before finally turning on Valencia and taking what is ours from those bastards. So feel free to subscribe, like, share it with everyone. The more that see this video, the better. And overall, I hope to see you all in 2 days' time. Of course, continue with another video. So this is Imperial Link, and cheers. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you all another time. Bye.